Hey guys, it's Shunal and Vaspan from IGN India, and today we're playing Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Yeah, Shunal said this because I kept fumbling. So Shunal, let's get right into it. How is the game?
You know what, it's actually pretty good. I think this is the first time I'm enjoying a Call of Duty game's multiplayer since Modern Warfare 2.
That's some high praise coming from you. So, okay, tell me about the multiplayer. The biggest change is that there are heroes?
Kind of. You can actually draw quite a few comparisons between Black Ops 4 and Rainbow Six Siege and Overwatch, the kind of hero shooters that have become popular these days.
Is that so? So, who's your favorite character?
I don't really have a favorite. I just pick what the team needs. I look at what the team has, and if we have a gap that I can fill, I try to fill that. Like I'll often default to a character named Crash, who has an ability to drop ammo packs, and picking up ammo from the packs not only replenishes your ammo, it also gives you bonus points for getting kills, which adds up towards your score streak.
Quite a team player. Okay, so what are the basic changes in the multiplayer from the older games?
You don't regenerate health anymore. You don't have that catch-up on screen effect that we used to from Call of Duty games. You actually have to heal yourself.
Oh, like Far Cry?
Kind of, but it's much faster. And your gun's always still pointed, so you can still fire from the hip.
I also heard there are a bunch of changes in the loadout system. Tell me about that.
I mean, it's not really changes so much as the pick 10 system is back, but it's kind of a mix where, like, originally you could just buy whatever upgrades you wanted and then dump it into a slot. In Black Ops 1 and 2, you could unlock these tokens to buy the sight of your choice or the gun of your choice. That they've rolled back onto the old Modern Warfare style where you have to level up to unlock stuff. But on the other hand, your loadout's actually pretty free-form this time, where you have 10 slots. You can do whatever you want with the 10 slots. Like, I've opted to not carry a secondary weapon around, instead having 6 attachments on my primary. Or if I just got a new gun, I have no attachments on the primary, so I carry a secondary weapon and I have 6 perks active. That kind of stuff.
Alright, and what about the maps?
The maps are actually pretty good this time around. But there is one map I think is a bit of a problem for the game called Hacienda, where it's a two-tiered map with a ground floor and an upper floor. And all the fighting happens in the upper floor because it's just a narrow corridor there. And kind of makes the game a bit boring if that map pops up. But otherwise, the maps are really well done. It follows the Treyarch style of the 3-lane system where you're guaranteed a fight regardless of which direction you go into.
Any maps from the older games?
Not that I've been able to recognize, but there are a few maps that are throwbacks. Like the militia camp from Black Ops 1 is back as Forest, I think, in this one. I don't remember the exact name of the map, but there are definitely some throwbacks to older maps.
Alright, finally tell me about the progression.
So, progression is kind of weird in this game compared to any other game, but this is kind of a weird game in itself when you think about it, really. Because there are 3 distinct game modes: multiplayer, zombies, and blackout. We all know this. But you don't really, until recently, you never had a way to progress evenly. If you want something in Blackout, you'll have to play Blackout. There's no way you're going to unlock something by playing multiplayer for Blackout. But now they've added this Battle Pass style system, which gives you an experience bar throughout the board, and you'll slowly unlock things to use in all 3 game modes. But even that, the progression seems a bit skewed to being absurdly slow. At the rate at which it stands right now, there are reports that it would take 10 hours of play for the next 50 days to unlock everything, which is especially sad because that whole tier system is only there for 50 days.
Damn, so does that sound like a Battlefront type ploy to get microtransactions?
I wouldn't put it quite on the tier of Battlefront because Battlefront had very real gameplay benefits to paying money. You could unlock characters and you had small things like, oh, your ship can turn 2.5% faster. This doesn't have that, it's all visual. But then in a game mode like Blackout, even visual stuff can make a bit of a difference. If your character's kind of harder to see, that kind of stuff.
So coming to the newest feature, it's Blackout or the Battle Royale mode. So what does Blackout do that Fortnite or PUBG does not?
It does little to differentiate itself from those 2 games, but the biggest thing you can take away from this is that it's the first time a AAA company has taken a shot at a Battle Royale game, proper, so you can see a lot of polish there. And they've done some clever things, the perks that you often get to see in the multiplayer mode are actually items you can pick up and use. So there's a definite way to fill up your inventory slots, so you have to manage some stuff there. And even the map design is a bit clever because instead of having to design a Battle Royale map from the ground up, which can be massive, as you know, they've taken a bunch of old Black Ops maps, put them onto an island and just filled up some smaller spaces with smaller houses. So, and there you can actually notice quite a few throwbacks, like Nuketown is there, estates are there, that kind of stuff.
Alright, which is your favorite spot to land on?
I like to land on Rivertown because it's kind of like the Pochinki of this game. There's a lot of tight combat and scrambling around for weapons. right as you land.
Getting right into it, huh? I've heard a lot of good things about the UI of the game. It's very simple to use. Any comments there?
In Blackout, yeah, definitely. The Blackout UI is really good. Like, especially when you compare it to something like the only other comparison that can come into mind right now is PUBG on the Xbox One, where the UI is a complete mess. It was obvious that UI was made with the mouse and keyboard in mind, does not work with the controller. This, on the other hand, works quite well because it lets you navigate with the D-pad quite well, and it's got a Destiny-style cursor if you want that.
All right, coming to it. What's the victory message?
Number one, victory. That's all you get. No chicken dinners, no victory royales.
That sucks. Finally, I heard there are also zombies in the Blackout mode.
Yeah, some places will randomly spawn zombies. Like, there's a place called Asylum where you can land, and that is guaranteed to have a few zombies. But like other places are more random with that stuff. And it's an interesting panel in the works, for lack of a better phrase, because you can actually get ambushed by someone while you're fighting a zombie or vice versa. And killing the zombies actually has a point because you can get some pretty cool weapons and gear out of them, like stuff you would only find in the zombies mode, like a ray gun, for instance.
All right, moving to zombies then. What the hell is zombies?
Man, I played like 10 hours of zombies and I can't tell you. Like so it's kind of a horde mode thing where you and your buddies are gonna put in this scenario, and there's gonna be waves of zombies and you have to survive the wave. And there's always some objectives to go to, but like those objectives are obscured. Like the most you're gonna get is like, oh, you need X amount of points to open this door. So like your brain will tell you, you need those points because that's the way forward. But a lot of these maps are circular, they just keep coming back, and there's some lot of weird stuff happening, like we're having to build a seal of some kind to stop demons from attacking the Titanic.
Oh yeah, there are some weird maps. Tell me about those.
Oh, the maps are pretty cool. Like one of them is a German bunker during World War II where you're fighting Nazi zombies. That's right out of World at War. Right out of World at War, actually, which introduced zombies, might add. But the coolest levels I've seen are the two big new ones. One's called 9, like written in the Roman way, like IX. That one puts you in like a gladiatorial arena in ancient Earth, but you still have guns. It's not like you're fighting with swords and shields. You still have guns, you're still scampering around, you're still fighting zombies. There's that. And my absolute favorite is the Titanic level. Zombie invasion starts right as the literal first thing you see is the Titanic hitting the iceberg.
Please tell me they say you're the king of the world when you win.
No.
Damn.
I mean, I've never won.
So there's no single player campaign in Black Ops 4, but there is a single player mode called Specialist HQ. What's that about?
It's actually more of a tutorial than any actual story content. There is cutscenes you can unlock there, but those I just skip them because, who cares. But there's definitely some plot going on there and some weird stuff, but it's fundamentally it's just a tutorial for all the characters which you can do one by one. And then like after you finish the how to use the character tutorial, you're put in a bot match in the different game modes. So it kind of also acts as a tutorial for the different modes in multiplayer, which considering they've added 2 new modes this time around, is kind of a pretty good way to go about teaching you how to play them.
So do you think this mode is actually the remnants of what could have been the campaign?
It probably is, because there's definitely some high budget, well animated, beautiful looking cutscenes in there. But the story doesn't really make much sense because there's no coherency.
Alright, also the season pass has recently come out. Tell me more about that. Is it worth buying?
I mean, like, it's Call of Duty. If you're going to play more of it, you're going to want that thing because there's going to be more maps, more weapons, more zombies content. Oddly enough, no mention of whether there'll be Blackout content with it this time around, but I mean, it's pretty expensive.
How much is it?
It's like $4,000 on its own.
The whole game?
Yes, that's like Call of Duty itself, Black Ops 4 is like $4,000 something, and the season pass on top of that is another $4,000. Like if you're planning on buying the season pass, if you're planning on buying the game and you know you're going to play it for a while, the more expensive digital deluxe edition that comes for around $6,000 or something that includes the season pass is the way I recommend going.
Alright then, Shunal, final thoughts on Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Black Ops 4 is it's no surprise that Call of Duty has fantastic shooting all the time. It's difficult to not enjoy those games. But Black Ops 4 has brought something back to the game, like to the series that has been missing for a while, since I think Advanced Warfare, when they started doing all the fancy stuff. And even World War II last year didn't do it this well, I think. Is the core shooting, the weight of your character, everything, it feels really good to play. And it's a bit on the expensive side, but I think the Blackout mode kind of makes up for it because it's really good. It's like the best modern military battle royale you're going to get, period. It's overall a pretty good game, but again, there's some server issues here and there. If you're the kind of person who likes Call of Duty, you know that you're going to buy this. For those of you who don't know, it could be worth checking out this time around.
Alright then, thanks a lot, Shunal. For more stuff on Black Ops 4, stay tuned to IGN India. Thanks for listening.